It's early fall, and here in Prescott Park, what they'll be doing is pulling out all of the annuals. They do it over a span of 1 week, so I just wanted to come in and collect some seeds from some of the flowers today. When collecting the seeds of Celosia or amaranth, you want to make sure that the plant is starting to die back and it's turning more of a brown color. I prefer to store my seeds in small resealable plastic bags. You can use whatever you want, a paper bag, an envelope, a jar. The key is make sure that the seeds are completely dry before you store them. If the seeds are wet and you try to store them, there's a chance that those seeds will rot. I like to label the bags with the name of the plant, the color, and the year I collected the seeds. The reason I put the year I collected the seeds is so I know how viable or how fresh the seeds are, because seeds lose their germination rate as each year goes by. When you collect your Celosia or Celosia seed pods, they'll still have some color on it. You can see there's still some pink coloring here, but you want to make sure you're also noticing this light brown or tan color. That's when you know that the seed pods are ripe. Another way is to take a seed pod, put it in your hand, and start shaking it. And if you notice little black specks coming out of it, those are the seeds. You'll see that many of the seeds have already been released, but there should still be seeds left in here. So all I'm going to do is just take my fingers, just like this, and I'm shaking around the seed pod. And the seeds, as well as some of the non-seed material, is coming out. You could also use something like a kitchen strainer, and I just have a bowl at the bottom of the strainer here. And I'm just going to pour the contents of what I have on the paper into the strainer. Celosia seeds are very small, so this process works out really well with separating the seeds from the non-seed material. So I'm doing the same thing. I'm just shaking around the seed pods here. You can use this method of the strainer with any small seeds that you have. And then I can even shake it. And then I can pour the contents out of the bowl onto the paper. I want you to see how small these seeds are next to my fingernail. They're very small, they're black in color, and they have a little shine to them. Since a week has gone by since I collected these seeds are completely dry. They're ready to be stored. You'll notice that the seeds are on a folded piece of paper. It makes it much easier for me to use the paper as a funnel to get the seeds off of here and into the bag. And look at all the seeds that we've collected. That's a lot of seeds there. I can go ahead and seal the bag. All my seeds get stored in a cool, dark, dry location. Many of the Coleus plants have started to go to seed, so let's go ahead and collect some seeds from these plants. If you have Coleus plants and you like to deadhead them, you want to stop deadheading some of the plants just to make sure that they go to seed. This really pretty purple flower right here is not quite ready for us to collect the seeds from it. You can see that because it has a number of blooms on it and it still looks pretty fresh. You want to wait until the blooms have started to fade, and once they've faded, the flower stalks start to turn brown. And once they've turned brown, that's a good indicator that you can start collecting seeds from them. So let's go ahead and pull this one off. This time of year, I always like to keep large sandwich bags as well as markers in my car so that if I find seeds that I want to collect, I have something to put them in. So let's go ahead and take these out. And then if I wanted to, I could save this bag, cross this out, and reuse the bag for some more seeds that I want to collect. There might still be a few purple flowers left on here, but generally you can see that most of the flowers have gone by and have started to turn brown. A common question that I get asked when collecting seeds from any plant, not just Coleus, is what if the seed pods are not ripe yet? Can we take the seed pods off the plant, let them dry inside, and then collect the seeds? I don't usually recommend that. I recommend that you wait until the seed pods have ripened on the plant, then pull them off and go ahead and start collecting seeds. And the reason is you have a much higher likelihood that those seeds will be viable and will produce a plant for you. Since Coleus seeds are very small, I like to use the kitchen strainer again to separate the seeds from the non-seed material. I'm just going to break these up into smaller pieces to make it a little easier to work with them. So again, I can just move around the seed pods in the top here, and what will happen is those small little seeds will fall through the bottom into the bowl. And I can go ahead and shake it as well. And what you end up with is mostly just the seeds with very little non-seed material. And then the process is the same. As long as the seeds have dried for about a week, I can store my seeds in my little bag that's been labeled here and put them in a cool, dark, dry location. Here is some beautiful Vinca, or I believe it's called Madagascar periwinkle. It's a nice tropical looking plant. It's very drought tolerant. We have some flower buds here. They will eventually become flowers. And that's what the beautiful flowers look like. We have some more flower buds right there. With Vinca, it blooms at the bottom and then it starts to form seeds near the bottom. It continues blooming at the top, which is why we have flowers at the top of the plant. So when you're looking for the seed pods, you want to look near the bottom of the plant. Here are some seed pods, but notice that they're still very green. That means they're not ready for us to pick from. The seed pods might not turn fully brown when you want to harvest them. They might still be green in color, but what you're looking for is that you can see the black seeds showing through the green seed pod. And that's what I'm talking about. Right there are green seed pods, but if you look very carefully, they have a slight shade or tinge of black, and those are the black seeds inside of the seed pod. Let's go ahead and collect those. Here are some Vinca seeds that I collected from my yard about a week ago, so they're dry. Again, I labeled the bag, and the seed pods were closed when I first collected them, but they opened over time. A lot of people assume seed pods have to turn brown on every plant, and I just want to show you that's not always true. You can see that these seed pods still have a green color tinge to them. And if you don't catch it fast enough when it comes to collecting Vinca seeds, they might open on you and release their seeds. So timing is everything. They might look like this on the plant, and you might only see 1 or 2 seeds left. With Vinca seeds, I like to separate the seeds from the non-seed material because the seeds are big enough that I can do that. So in this case here, you can see that the seeds are nestled inside of the seed pod. So we can just open it up to release the seeds. And then these are the seeds that I just collected. I need to let them dry for another week. There aren't a ton of seeds, but remember, each seed will produce a plant. That's more than the average home gardener needs. Plenty of seeds there. Did you know that the seeds of perennial as well as annual salvia look the same? You want to wait until the blossoms start to fade. And if you actually look inside the seed pod, if you see white seeds, that means they're not ripe. But if you see black seeds, that means that the seeds are ripe and you can collect them. It's been years since I've grown salvia, and especially in large amounts. One of my garden goals for next year is to grow a lot more salvia because I think it's such a pretty plant to have in the garden. On a flower stalk, you might see the blooms at the top are the color of the plant, for example, a red color. But near the bottom of the plant, it might be more of a tan color, like this tan color that you see here. And that's what you're waiting for. You're not waiting for the whole branch to be brown in color. You're waiting for at least the bottom part of it to start turning brown. And if you peek inside, you can see that it's almost like a black color in there. That's an indicator that there are some seeds in there that are ready to be harvested. And see, we have some blooms here that are still on what I cut off here, but I cut it off because I wanted to show you that when you look inside there, there are some seeds in there, but they're white. They are not ripe, and even though I pulled them off the plant, I will not be keeping them because even if they eventually turn black, they most likely will not be viable. You can see that some of the seeds have already started to come out. They will be a black color. And you want to make sure you're collecting them in time because if you wait too long, they will end up falling out of the seed pods. So timing is everything. And since I just collected these seeds, I'm going to have to wait a number of days before I can store them. But what I like to do is usually just open up each of the seed pods to release the seeds from the seed pods. And to release the seeds, you can just basically split open the seed pod just like this. And when you do that, the seeds will fall out. There are a number of annuals that you can propagate from cuttings. I've been able to successfully propagate salvia from cuttings. So always keep that in mind, that when you're collecting seeds and you, for example, let's say with salvia, you only collected 3 or 4 seeds, but you want way more plants. Research it on the internet and see if you can take cuttings from that plant. Because sometimes when you just grow a small handful of plants, you can turn that small handful of plants into a lot more plants. I've done that not only with salvia, but many other plants like Coleus, begonias, impatiens, and the list goes on. Always research it on the internet and you'll be surprised at how many plants you can propagate from cuttings. I'll wait a number of more days before I go ahead and store these, like I said, because the seeds and the seed pods are still wet. It'll be easier to collect the seeds actually once this dries a little bit more. But I'm very excited about how many plants I'm going to be able to grow for next year. I've grown Trailing Lobelia in my garden for a number of years, and I've collected seeds from the plants already this year, but this particular light blue color, I don't believe I have. I saw it recently out in a park and I went ahead and collected the seeds from it. You'll see blooms at the top of each flower stem, but near the bottom of the stem is where you'll find the seed pods. And the seed pods will be a light brown or light tan color. I was so excited to find this color of lobelia. I have many other colors. I have seeds from white lobelia, as well as a more electric blue trailing lobelia, and I even have purple. But I don't have this light blue colored one. So this will be really pretty to add to my garden next year. A number of the plants that I've shown you today, basically when you're collecting their seeds, you'll see the flowers at the top of the stem, but then near the bottom of the stem is where you'll find the spent blooms that have started to go to seed. So what you're looking for again when it comes to trailing lobelia is this right here, and inside of this will be a number of small little seeds. I've made a number of videos showing you my process for collecting the seeds of trailing lobelia, as well as the other plants I'm showing you today. I'm going to link them down in the description below. Since I just recently collected these, I'm going to have to wait a week for the seed pods and seeds to dry before I can store them. Trailing lobelia seeds are teeny tiny, so when you want to separate the seeds from the non-seed material, I also recommend using the strainer. I love using a strainer like this. It comes in so handy for separating out small little seeds like those of trailing lobelia. I'm pointing to what the seeds of the trailing lobelia look like. They are extremely tiny. And the reason I zoomed in was just to show you how small they are next to my finger. I have hundreds of videos on my YouTube channel that show you my process for collecting seeds from lots of different plants, annuals and perennials. I also show you my process on how to start those seeds, either indoors under grow lights or outdoors using the winter sowing process. I don't always remake the same videos year after year because it becomes repetitive. So for that reason, I recommend that you go through the playlists on my channel and look for whatever it is you're looking for. Another thing you can do is click on the magnifying glass that's on my channel and then do a search on something like echinacea or impatiens, whatever it is that you're looking for, and you'll find videos on that topic. If you have any questions or comments, please drop them down below. And until the next video, make it a great day with gardening.